Hi there YouTubers and 3D Studio Max lovers. In today's episode we're going to talk about how to create architectural diagrams for your projects or for your competitions. And for that we're going to use this amazing 3D software that not many people are actually using it these days, that it's called Finaltoon. In case you don't know what Finaltoon is it's a rendering program that is rendering everything as a toon, something similar as in SketchUp, but a little bit more professional and better looking and with more options than SketchUp actually has. I know many of you architects are actually using SketchUp and you think that SketchUp is the best program in the world and so on, but you need to remember that 3D Studio Max is a more professional way on how to make absolutely any shape than SketchUp. SketchUp is very good to create simple shapes like cubes and extrude and so on, but in 3D Studio Max you can create almost anything. So I think 3D Studio Max is much better for creating your presentations. If you guys really want to know how to create this, let's jump in. Okay, so as you can see, this is a project that I made a couple of years ago. It's just a simple house that I made for a client. We're just going to use it as a base. I'm just going to explain you how to create all these lines and all these materials to make everything look so flat and 2D. So let's start. So yeah, this is the project that I made a couple of years ago. As I said, we're gonna use this only as a base, not as a 3D model. For those who are following me on my Patreon, they can download these files from there. So yeah, let's start. As you can see, I'm just going to show you really fast how it's actually looking. It's rendered right now with V-Ray. This is just a simple house in this area here, and here is the garage. Has a small terrace with a barbecue area and the pool, and the access is it's from here. So okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is to change my render engine. So right now I have V-Ray. I'm going to change this from common in here, scanline, and in the moment that I'm rendering, I'm going to get this. So it's just the full shape of my 3D, as you can see. And the second thing that we're going to do is to go to take the environment out for now. Yeah, it's going to be all black, and go to effects, and here add the Finaltoon. In the moment that I did that, right away the program is gonna apply some settings. These are default edges, so in the moment that I'm rendering all of this, we are getting this because the program is applying right away these settings from here. So fold edges, visible fold, crease edges, and intersection edges. So this is my 3D model, as you can see, and it's quite detailed because this 3D model was made in ArchiCAD, so it has a lot of details in there. Even the handle from the front door, the frames, they all detailed, quite detailed for such a 3D model. So it's already looking good, but unfortunately it's not exactly what we need, because here, for example, I don't want to have this line in here, also this one, I just want to have simple shapes. So let me just explain you that. For example, if I go here and isolate my garage and detach this. As you can see, this is my geometry. It has all these lines, and in the moment that I'm rendering all of this, well, I need to go to perspective. Sometimes it doesn't like orthographic. Yeah, you can see all these lines in here. The problem is that I don't want to have all of this in here. I just want to have a simple shape made out of this form. So to do that, unfortunately, we need to remodel this in 3D Studio Max and to make everything very simple. So to get these edges out from here and to create a simple shape. So let's start doing that. So I'll just go here to layers and just create a new layer in here called new 3D model, and I will start modeling my new shape in here. So how am I going to do that? It's very simple. I'm just gonna go here with the box, with the 3D on, go to that corner, coming here, going up, and then using an editable poly here, and now with the shift on I can have my object in here, the new object. So yeah, probably you're going to say, but yeah, what's the difference between this and the old one? So if I'm rendering this, I just need to apply a material to it. I'm just going to use toon material from general. You have here Finaltoon, and I'm just going to use this one. I'm gonna apply it, And here at the toon parameters, I'm just going to use white color. And yeah, for the specular and the shadow, you can have different colors if you want. So this means that in the moment that you're gonna render this, for the specular you can have one different color, and for the shadow a different color also. For now I'll just leave it as it is. I applied that already. So yeah, as you can see, this is my 3D model. So yeah, it has some edges in here that I don't see them in here. So what you can do is to go to your editable poly. I'm just gonna collapse this for now, and I can select this edge and this one, and I can just delete them with the backspace, and also on the other side. And now when I'm rendering, I'm gonna get my shape, as you can see it here. To be sure that you're going to see your object also in the projection, you can just go here to standard, target camera, and to this camera you can just use an orthographic projection. And now you can actually see the 3D model and see all the lines. Yeah, unfortunately, if you go directly in the orthographic projection in 3D Studio Max, you're not going to see. So yeah, this is our 3D model right now. So what's happening right now in our render is the program, the 3D Studio Max and the Finaltoon, is applying the effects from here directly to the object. So these effects from here are globally applied to all the 3D models that we have in here. But if I want to have different lines for this object, for example, then I need to create them locally. I need to apply them locally. So to do that, you can just go to your material editor in here, and on the Finaltoon edges, you can unclick this and use local. So in this moment, all these my default lines are gonna be applied to my object. So if I render again, you don't see any difference, but let me just delete this for now, add this in here. Okay, so as I said, these are the colors of my object right now. I can change this to make everything a little bit brighter. In the moment that you're adding a light in here, it's gonna look different. So now let me just explain you how the material Finaltoon edges are actually working. So these are visible folds. I'm gonna take everything out so you can see the 3D model. So these are visible folds. In this moment, we're going to see only an outline of the object. If I'm adding also the hidden folds, now we're going to see also the fold edges also from behind. So as you can see, it can look quite strange, but what you can also do is click on this and go inside. And here I can change the pattern or the way my outline is actually looking. So I'm gonna use a dashed one. So in this way, I'm gonna know which outlines are in the front and which ones are in the back. Also here you can change the scale of it. So right now I understand what's happening a little bit better than before, what's happening into my render. So dashed, I'm gonna write here, I'm gonna close this. Okay, and then I can also click only on silhouettes, and now it's going to do a silhouette. I can take the hidden folds out, and now I can see only the silhouette of the object. Even though this is a 3D model, as you can see, it looks like a 2D model. And this is quite important to know, because you can have on the silhouette a thicker line, and on the other lines in here you can have different types of lines. So for example, I can go in here on this one, on the opacity, and here I have a thickness, and I can change this thickness to 1, and I can render this. Now I'm gonna get thick outline for this object. Okay, so as I said, we have the visible folds right now. So if I hit on the visible crease, I should see also these creases in here. So right now, as you can see, I have an object that has the outline, which is a thick one. I can use only silhouette and the visible creases. So yeah, this is what we got. And then we can have also hidden creases, and for this one I can also use a dashed or dotted. And now I can see also what's happening behind here. So as you can see, with a very simple material made with a couple of objects, I can actually see what's happening into my object. If I go to a different angle, everything stays as it is. And also, if I want, I can change the thickness of this line, of this crease that is here in the front. So this is the one, and I can go here with 2, for example, and I can render this. As you can see, it's all changed. And also what you can do, you can also change the color of it if you want to. which is very helpful. You can also change the dotted line into a different color if you want to, and you can also have an intersection with another object. For example, if I create in here a cylinder and I render all of this, it's going to look like this. You can apply the same material to this. As you can see, he's using exactly the same idea and the same options that I used also for the other object. The only thing that is not showing in here is the intersection, and to do that I can just go here and say visible intersection, and now in the moment that I'm rendering this, I'm going to have a visible intersection in here. I can also have a hidden intersection, and now I can see two lines, two circles that are intersecting with this object, and also my hidden crease in the back. So yeah, as you can see, this is very versatile. You can do many things with it. But yeah, let's move forward and let's start creating an object. Let's start creating the 3D model for the full house. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to isolate my objects in here. And the first one that I'm going to try to do is the land, this one. If I render this right now, yeah, it's just looking like this. If I go to the camera, so yeah, I can keep this as it is. Let me create another material for this, and I will name this land or courtyard, whatever, and I will make here green color. Yeah, now it's correct. So let me have the specular also 100. We have all of them in the same. And what I would like to do here, I would like to have this in green and the exterior dotted. So I will go to my Finaltoon edges and I will take all of this out, and I will leave only the visible folds on. And this one I will make it smaller. And I will make this into, let's make it into a red. And I will make this, as you can see, and now I have everything dotted. If I want to have a different size between them, I can just change the scale of it. So let me make it 50%. Yeah, I think now it's much closer to what I need. Okay, and now I will just move this to different layer. Command panel first and then okay, and I will just click on this and add it in here. And now let's just finish with the garage. You can also use a line to create the rest of the stuff that you need. Now we'll just do it like this. Just need to add everything in the same height. Now I'll move everything here. I'll just extrude this once and then apply the edge double poly, move it here and then again here, and then again here. And now I'll just make some small adjustments by moving this line lower where I have a window, and here to delete the front door. And let me see, let me apply my material, the white one. And let me just hide my original 3D model, and I can render this. I need to go to the camera. And yeah, let's create some more simple materials. So what I need in here is for this material visible. This is blue, I will just make it black, and yeah, 1.5 maybe. Okay. And for my object, walls, interior walls, I'm just gonna add a shell and 0. And now I'll put this shell weight 15 on the inside, and I will make straight corners. Now I'll isolate this and re-render everything. And as you can see, it's quite busy and it's not exactly what I need. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna try to clean this up. So I will just select these ones, delete them with backspace. This one also, this one, this one, this one, and everything else that I don't need. Clean this for a little bit and to make it more professional looking. Okay, this can go, and this can go also. Okay, now it's much better, I think. It will be nice also to have here the intersection if I really want to see the material. Self-intersections, maybe. It's not that one. It's a fold in there. So it's a hidden fold. We've seen right now. Yeah, now it's correct. So let's use this one also here. It's an instance for the hidden crease and okay, and I can make also this as an instance to have them in the same width. Okay, and if I want to see also this line, and now I also have that one. So the dotted line be a little bit smaller, I guess, the dashed one. So let's make it 20 maybe. Yeah, it's better. So yeah, now I can actually see the 3D model. Let me unhide also the roof of this. So yeah, right now you can actually see quite well exactly how this garage is actually looking, which is quite cool, I think. There is a small difference between these two in here. Let me check. I can change that by fixing it from here. Because in reality, I think this will go quite low till here. So yeah, now it's correct. The only thing is that I have these small edges in here, which I can actually delete. And now I have my garage and I can see all the intersection. Yeah, I think this is quite cool. For the windows and the front door, the garage door, I can just go and create that very simple. I can apply an editable poly to this, and by selecting this and connect them, apply the material. I can apply a different material if I want to my garage door. Let me apply a shell to it and make it 0.03. And I can just bevel everything. Make it local by polygon. And now also I have my garage door and also the lines behind. So as you can see, this is already looking quite cool. Of course, you can play at any time with your 3D model. If you don't want to show the lines which are behind, you can just change that like very easily. And also here, for example, this is kind of like an intersection between that one and this one. So I should also have a different type of line in there. But anyway, like playing with all of this, you can actually make it better. Also this one here, it shouldn't be like that. So most of them, so yeah, right now you have the intersection. Here, unfortunately, they are overlapping. So yeah, if you want to, you can create for each element from this garage a different type of line to explain better how the geometry is actually working. So for each object, you can create a different type of edge to show exactly how everything is actually working. But yeah, in my opinion, you should not show too much, because sometimes it can get quite hard to understand what's happening in there. So everything that is hidden, maybe it's better not to show it. Let's see. So yeah, this is a much better view of the 3D model. In this way you can understand what's happening in there. In the worst case scenario, you can also show the hidden folds, so you can actually understand better what's happening also behind. But yeah, this is quite simple and quite cool. Let me just also create here the window that we have behind, just by using a rectangle, middle point. Now I'm just going to create my window in here, and to do that I can just apply shell, editable poly, select this part and select the front and the back, or the back and the front, and then inset everything, inset, and then just extrude the inside and apply the material, of course. And as you can see, we have a window in there. And yeah, you can also see the interior of the garage and all kind of lines in there, which is quite cool, to be honest, because there are not that many programs that they can do things like this. If I add also the hidden crease in here, I should see a little bit more. But yeah, as I said, sometimes it's better to show a little bit less, because otherwise, yeah, you can actually get too many things inside there, and it's going to be hard to understand what's happening, especially for someone who doesn't really understand 3D models. And yeah, I think this is much better. The only thing that I don't really like in here is this line, which I can actually select and delete with backspace, and now I have a clean geometry for this type of for 3D model. Okay, now let's continue with the rest of the things. Let's see what else do we have in here. Yeah, let's start creating the house. I'll just start creating a simple line in here and extrude this, and then by applying an editable poly I can just go and take these corners and move them here, and then by using the edge I can extend that in here like this, and then applying a shell to it. .35, and then applying an editable poly to this. I will just go until here, then I will go until here again, and then until here. Then yeah, let's extrude our object, and creating the basic shape, and then yeah, going to the top, selecting all these faces and going down with the main shape of the object, and just applying the material to it. And yeah, this is our house right now. Yeah, the only thing that is missing is the windows that we can create right away. And yeah, that's kind of it. There is a small thing here that I don't like, this detailing here with these two volumes. But as I showed you before, it's quite easy to fix that just by selecting the edge using backspace, and should be okay. Oh, now we have some different ones that they just pop up, but I can just hide them one by one like this. Let's see. And now it's almost correct. I still have one here. Let's see what else. Yeah. Oh, now we have it there at the end. Let's fix also that. And now it's all correct. And if I unhide, and now this is my house and my terrain, which is looking quite good, I would say. You can also create the stairs in there and all the other things that I had in the original 3D model from ArchiCAD. But right now I'm just going to start creating the windows, and there is a simple way to do that by using a boolean. For example, if I create copy all of this, I can also take this one, have it here, so copy, and I can just take this with Ctrl Shift and make a copy here, and then these ones can just go a little bit on the inside just to have the depth of my windows. And then on the bottom I can also make a copy. Okay, and just go on the other side and also to create here the windows. Okay, now we have all the windows. Let me just go and hide my 3D model. And now what we can do is to apply a boolean. For those who don't know what boolean is or how to use it, Studio Max, I made a video only about this. I will leave the link in the description. Is this one, and here I've explained everything on how the boolean is actually working and yeah, how to use it and so on. So feel free to go to my channel and just try to find 3D Studio Max 2024 boolean modifier, and yeah, you're gonna find everything and how to do it. Okay, I said I'm gonna go to the boolean, and now I will just use here subtract operand. I will start picking my models that I would like to subtract. You can see in the moment that I did that, I'm getting the windows right away. And in the moment that I'm rendering all of this, oh, sorry, going to go to the camera, I'm also gonna get all the necessary lines to see my 3D model. So yeah, in this case, it's better to use the boolean, create these kind of holes and the windows and so on, because in this way it's gonna be much faster and it's gonna look much better. Also, if you want to export this for your project or your page where you may create your presentation, you can also export all of this in AI Adobe Illustrator file. So to do that, I'm just gonna go to F10 first. So this is the resolution that I have and so on. And if I want to export this as an Adobe Illustrator file, you just need to go to Effects, to Finaltoon, and here on the bottom you have File Output, and you can export these as shapes and lines, or only lines if you want to use this in afterwards in Illustrator to add 2D illustrations to it or whatever. So and here you can export this as a CVG, which is a working group, or Adobe Illustrator, and I will just export this house 01, and in the moment that I'm gonna render I'm going to have also the Adobe Illustrator file made, and it's going to open the Illustrator for me and also open that file. And as you can see, this is my file and it's made. I exported also the faces of it, but I can delete that and I can have only the outline, as you can see, and I can change it if I want to, or I can do whatever I want. As you can see, it's made out of objects. Unfortunately, it's exploded, but yeah, you have it. You can change the colors of it, fills. You can make it transparent and so on. You can also put a color on it if you want to. So yeah, you can do many things in here now, because you have an object and it's all made of outlines. So yeah, this program is quite useful also for graphic designers who want to add in their graphics like different types of 3D models or 3D shapes that they want to use in their projects. So yeah, this program is quite amazing, and you all definitely should know how to use it, because it can be very useful for your projects, and especially for architecture students who want to present their projects to their teachers or to their competitions and so on. This is a very useful way to show and to create graphics and diagrams for your projects. So in case you guys liked it, please don't forget to subscribe, follow this channel if you didn't do it already. For those on my Patreon, they can download this file from there to use it in case they need it, or they want to see how I did some things and they don't manage to do it in the same way as me. So as I said, don't forget to subscribe, like this button, and see you in the next one. Bye.